Hello everyone, welcome back to YK Reviews, welcome back to another weekly entertainment news video. We've got so much to go over. Some interesting stuff when it comes to the Marvel side of things here, some sad news when it comes to Batman 2, some really interesting news when it comes to Scream 7. So let's just get straight into it here. So as per usual, timestamps are going to be in the description down below, so if there's anything you're more interested in, anything you want to skip around to, timestamps will be in the description down below. And if you do like these weekly entertainment news videos, do subscribe to the channel because every single week we bring movie news, TV news, sometimes Lego news as well. So if you like that kind of stuff, do consider hitting that subscribe button. And also we have got a bunch of videos coming out, so there's going to be the retrospective reviews for all the Ghostbusters movies along with the Monsterverse movies. Since we've got Godzilla x Kong coming out, we've got the new Ghostbusters movie coming out, so retrospective reviews are going to be coming out for that. And also we've got the X-Men animated series, so we're going to be reviewing that. And I'm finally going to be building that Wolverine claw Lego, so keep an eye out on the channel because there's probably going to be a short quick video for that one. So if you like all that kind of stuff, do consider hitting that subscribe button. But we'll kick things right off with the first trailer that I guess we're going to talk about here, which is the Crow trailer that just recently got released, starring Bill Skarsgård. Now it's a remake of the original Crow, which I'll be honest, I haven't seen it, but in terms of this trailer, I feel like they gave everything away when it comes to, I already feel like I've seen the whole movie with the trailer that they released. And that's what I hate about trailers nowadays, is that they reveal so much. I'll be completely honest with you, even though I haven't seen the original version of The Crow, this one definitely doesn't feel like it hits the same as it could have done. Even the makeup too, I've seen the makeup in the original version. This one, I saw a comment in the trailer, somebody going that he went from being the Sting to being Darby Allin. If you get that reference, you're a real AEW fan there. But other than that, in terms of the action sequence, it looks pretty good, but the whole story and the movie itself just doesn't feel like it's going to be as strong as it was in the original version. That's just me going off of not seeing the original but knowing the impact and knowing the movie itself. Even just online too, I'm seeing a lot of mixed reactions when it comes to the trailer. People that are a fan of the original one just don't seem to be hitting this one the same. So I feel like this one definitely is in a mixed bag, so curious to see the reaction and the reviews for this when this movie does come out. But if you've seen the trailer, what are your thoughts? Are you a fan of the original one? What are your thoughts over this one? If you haven't seen it, please let me know. Will you be checking this one out? Will you give it a miss? Let me know in the comment section below. Okay, now a couple of news stories I want to dive into here in terms of upcoming movies. So we actually found out that there is going to be a Cat in the Hat animated movie starring Bill Hader. Now this is coming from Jeff Schneider, who is one of those insider scoops, who is a journalist. He's worked from the Variety, worked for the Wrap, works for the Collider, so he's in the movie space here, and he delivered this scoop confirming here that Bill Hader has been cast as a lead in the Cat in the Hat animated movie. It's going to be releasing in 2025, so next year. If you haven't seen the Cat in the Hat with Michael Myers, not that Michael Myers, but the actor Michael Myers, I'll be honest, I remember growing up and I was a huge fan of that movie. I've not watched it recently, and it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember enjoying that Cat in a Hat movie. I've been reading a lot of Dr. Seuss books recently, and not by way of choice. I have a son who just loves these books, so I've been reading a lot of Dr. Seuss books, and I'm honestly kind of gutted that it's going to be an animated movie rather than a live action movie. I feel like in this day and age now, I think it could work better than it did in the first version, the original Cat in the Hat movie. But honestly, Bill Hader, a fantastic choice, a really great casting choice when it comes to this. So a shame that it's going to be an animated version, but honestly with this, I feel like it's going to work so well. So much great character choices to pick from, a great story. You could go with the Cat in the Hat. So Bill Hader is going to be Cat in the Hat. What are your thoughts about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also if you've seen the Michael Myers version, did you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Please let me know down below. Okay, now for the next news story, we have got an update when it comes to the Now You See Me 3 movie. If you're unaware, there is two movies called Now You See Me and Now You See Me 2. Both, honestly, movies that I really, really enjoy. And if you love heist type of movies, magician type of movies, this one with a fantastic cast, great story, I feel like it works really well. I do love the first one over the second one because you get that big mystery, you get that big reveal that you kind of see it coming if you really pay attention to the details. But honestly, a great reveal overall. So we have got an update when it comes to the third movie. So coming from Jesse Eisenberg himself, so he spoke to the Collider and he basically confirmed here that I read the script. Hopefully it will happen in the next 6 months. I think it will. It seems like it will. Yeah, it's really great. And he goes on and talks about like the movie itself and talks about the cast, because like realistically the cast was fantastic. Like you got Woody Harrelson, Morgan Freeman, Mark Ruffalo, Dave Franco. You've even got Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe in there, along with Jesse Eisenberg. And so there's just some great cast that is part of this movie, and just a fantastic, enjoyable, sit down, turn off your brain type of movie. I really, really enjoy the first two. There's a great card sequence in the second one that really is probably one of my favorite parts, and even just like the ending in terms of Now You See Me Too. I'm so glad that we are getting then a third movie, and that it's going to be happening probably within the next 6 months. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out on that. If you've seen both the movies, what are your thoughts about the third movie? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? What are your thoughts overall about the first two movies as well? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Now, speaking of the next movie here, we've got an update when it comes to the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, on Sunday, I believe it was Mario's birthday. So we got an announcement here from Miyamoto, basically announcing that for Mario Day, that the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie is in development. Its release date is going to be April 3rd of 2026. So basically the same month, but in 2 years' time. Now, if you haven't seen it, honestly, it's a fun, entertaining movie. Not the best movie of the year, but you still have a great time. A lot of Easter eggs if you're a Super Mario Brothers fan, and just a lot of enjoyment that you have, especially if you're going with kids. I really, really enjoy this movie. I've seen it countless times because my son's really getting into it now, and I've just been watching this movie a lot in the last couple of weeks. I've got the Peaches song stuck in my head, but I am happy that we are going to be getting a sequel. So by the sounds of it, it looks like they're already working on the movie, working on the animation, because that takes forever. But I'm happy to hear that. I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing, what the next steps will be in the Super Mario franchise here. But you see this and you hear this, what are your thoughts? Are you happy about the sequel coming out? Are you kind of not all that bothered? What are your thoughts about the first movie? Let me know in the comment section down below for that one. Okay, now for the next news story, we've got a really interesting update when it comes to the Rogue Squadron Star Wars movie. We have not heard any updates. We basically assume that it's been shelved by Star Wars, by Bob Iger, and that we're never going to see the light of day for it. But we've actually got confirmation. This is coming from Patty Jenkins, saying that she is back working on the Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie. Now, she did an interview, and this is coming from the Collider, basically confirming here, Patty Jenkins claims she's back working on Rogue Squadron. So she basically saying, when I left Star Wars to do Wonder Woman 3, I thought maybe I'll come back to Star Wars after Wonder Woman 3. So we did a deal for that to happen. Started a deal, but I thought I was doing Wonder Woman. When that went away, Lucasfilm and I were like, oh, we got to finish this deal. We finished the deal as the strike was happening. So I now own a draft of Star Wars, and so we will see what happens there. Now, this is very surprising. A movie I'm not really excited about, just because we know very little about it, and in terms of like what's going to happen, especially with like Wonder Woman 2 not being that great, my excitement level in terms of this and Patty Jenkins working on the script, I'm not overhyped. But in terms of the movie itself, like I said, we know very little about it. All we know is that it's going to be about some Rebel Alliance fighters trying to be like the best squadron in the galaxy, and I do love like the flying sequences, the space sequences that they have in like Star Wars, whether it's in the shows or whether it's in the movies. They always have some great stuff. Just look at Revenge of the Sith, the opening sequence, fantastic opening sequence. But with this one, it looks like it is back in the works, so we are going to be seeing that. I don't see it anytime soon, probably within the next maybe 6 years. We'll probably get some kind of announcements with Star Wars happening, Star Wars Day later on in May, so definitely keep an eye out on that one. But you see this and you hear this, what are your thoughts? Are you excited? Are you happy that they're going to be doing Rogue Squadron? Are you honestly not all that bothered? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now for the next news story, we've got some updates when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, James Marsden did an interview confirming that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 wrapped up filming, but a couple of things I want to talk about, but this is what he said here.
James, my boys would choke me if I didn't ask about Sonic 3.
Yeah, we just wrapped, actually. We were near the Deadpool stages, actually, over there in Pinewood.
Oh, convenient.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So a couple of things just to pick out from that. We're sticking to the Sonic the Hedgehog side of things here. So they've confirmed that they've wrapped up filming, so most likely we'll see a trailer. My theory is that it might be after the Knuckles series, so maybe within the day or even like towards the end of the show they release a trailer. I highly doubt it because it's pretty much like a couple of weeks away, so most likely the trailer is going to be coming out in June or July. What's interesting is that we still don't know who's going to be voicing Shadow the Hedgehog. Again, rumors speculating that it's going to be Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker himself, but that's just rumors speculating, nothing concrete or confirmed. So it's going to be very interesting to find out who is going to be Shadow the Hedgehog. I doubt we're going to get confirmation maybe until the trailer does get released, so probably in July, most likely in the summer. We'll find out. But what was very interesting in that interview too was that he's talking about how he was very close to the Deadpool 3 studios and the set there. Now, there's been a lot of rumors and like lots of speculation about who's going to be appearing. There's going to be a lot of cameos in Deadpool 3. There was even like a fake image of him in the Cyclops outfit on set, which again, 100% fake. But it's very interesting to hear that he was very close to the Deadpool 3 set, kind of bringing speculation that he will be appearing as Cyclops in Deadpool 3. He was done so dirty in the Fox X-Men movies. I really enjoyed his version of Cyclops. So I'm hoping that he does. Most likely he's going to be appearing. Like, you're no way next to the Deadpool 3 set and you're not going to make a cameo. You're not going to be making an appearance. So this isn't 100% concrete, but my theory, my speculation, we will be seeing Cyclops in Deadpool 3, especially you've got Hugh Jackman coming back, James Marsden, like you're going to take advantage of that. So that's my theory. So I'm throwing it out there right now. Clip this if you want, but I feel like James Marsden's going to be appearing in Deadpool 3 as Cyclops, but also interesting in terms of Sonic news. So what are your thoughts about both? Who do you think is going to be voicing Shadow the Hedgehog? Do you think he will be appearing in Deadpool 3 given that he's so close to the sets? Please let me know all of that in the comment section down below. Okay, now for the next news story, one that honestly really hurt this week was finding out that Batman 2, Matt Reeves' Batman, has been delayed, and I honestly had to do a couple of takes. It didn't hit me, or it took me a while to figure it out, because I'm seeing news after news that Batman 2 has been delayed, going to be releasing in October, going to be releasing October 2nd, and my thoughts are, okay, well that's not that bad, it's being released early, so why is everybody saying it's been delayed? I shit you not, it took me 7 different articles for me to realize that it's been delayed by a whole year. So confirming here that Batman 2 has been delayed to October 2nd of 2026. So no longer going to be releasing next year, it's going to be releasing a further year. Now, this is mainly due to like the whole writer's strike that happened last year, causing the movie to be delayed, and honestly, I completely understand that. Like, I'd rather have them make a perfect Batman movie, work on a perfect script, rather than rushing productions like the Jurassic City nonsense that's going on here. So while it is heartbreaking to see that it's going to be delayed even further, like we're going to be waiting like 900 days, more than 900 days now for this movie, I'm just hoping that it's going to be a great movie and it's as good as like the first one. Like the first one really caught me off guard. Like Robert Pattinson, for me knowing him from like Twilight, I was not convinced with him being Batman, but he totally proved me wrong, blew me out of the water. One of my favorite movies of 2022, one of my favorite Batman movies. So my anticipation is going to be off the charts. Looks like we're only getting Superman Legacy. So we were going to have Superman Legacy and Batman coming out in the same year, but it looks like it's just going to be Superman coming out in 2025. This one coming out in 2026. So you see this delay. What are your thoughts? Are you heartbroken? Are you disappointed? Are you not that bothered? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now for the next news story we've got, going from a movie I'm disappointed to a movie that honestly I'm just I don't even know. Like, this next news story we've got is the confirmation of Venom 3's title. So this one is confirmed that it's going to be called Venom: The Last Dance. And as soon as I read that title, I just had this image of Venom, the scene from Venom Let There Be Carnage, of him in that nightclub, mic dropping, and Sony just leaves me speechless at times. Like, I'll be completely honest with you, I enjoyed the first Venom movie. The second one, I enjoyed it mostly because of Carnage, but I just wasn't a fan of the whole comedy direction that they went with Venom and Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock's character. And this one, I just feel like it's going to go for more of a comedy route here. We still don't know what the plot is going to be. Like, that rumor of him looking after the young Peter Parker, it just, honestly, Sony, you leave me speechless. And with it being called Venom: The Last Dance, could this be the end of the Venom universe? Because you've got one of the most loved, enjoyed movie of the whole Sony spin-off universe with Madam Web going to Morbius 2. Like, these movies just, again, all jokes aside, they're just not doing that great. Like, Morbius flopped, Madam Web flopped. You've got Venom 1, Venom 2 in there. Like, Michael Keaton even came out to say that he has no idea why he was in the post-credit scene for Morbius, which just goes to show that there's no direction with Sony whatsoever. So you've got Craven coming out in August, and then you've got Venom coming out in October. It got pushed forward a little bit, going from November to October, but honestly, if this is the end of the Sony spin-off universe, thank the Lord. And I just hope that Sony sticks with the animated stuff, because Spider-Verse is something else. And they're even going to be making a Sinister Six, a villains type of movie in terms of an animated form. So I'm looking more forward to that than this. So what are your thoughts about this title, Venom the Last Dance? Do you think this is the end of the Sony spin-off universe? How happy are you? Out of 100, let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now before we get into like the big news story when it comes to Scream, let's dive into some Marvel news here, because it's looking like a promising update when it comes to the next Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 4. This is Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. Not, I know there's been a lot of like talk about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, which I really do hope it happens, but this one is Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. Now, we spoke about this like, what, 2 weeks ago now, in terms of like Kevin Feige and Tom Holland versus Sony, in terms of what's going to happen, what kind of direction they're going to go for. So coming from Daniel RPK, the reliable scooper here, he has been confirming here that Marvel Studios is currently actively searching for a director for Spider-Man 4, meaning that it looks like Kevin Feige has convinced Sony to have it of a more grounded level Spider-Man. Now, this isn't concrete, it's definitely not confirming that it's all going to be grounded and there's not going to be any like multiverse shenanigans going on in there. That's still not the case, but it does seem like now that they are looking for a new director, it does seem like Kevin Feige, Tom Holland sort of won that argument, sort of won that battle, and we are most likely going to be getting a more grounded, having Kingpin in there, having grounded villains, hopefully Scorpion comes back in there. So it looks like that's going to be what we're looking forward to for Spider-Man 4, which is just a relief for me, because I want a more grounded Spider-Man movie. As much as I love Tobey and Andrew, as much as I want to see them again, most likely in Secret Wars rather than this, I just feel like it's way too soon. Like, Spider-Man No Way Home came out like 2 years ago. I don't want to see them again in Spider-Man 4, because it just reverses everything that was done from No Way Home. So this is honestly happy to hear. So thankfully it looks like Kevin Feige did win. So what are your thoughts about that? A, who would you want as a director for Spider-Man 4? And what are your thoughts about this? Are you happy that Kevin Feige and Tom Holland have won? Are you disappointed? Would you prefer a more multiverse version of Spider-Man 4? Let me know in the comment section below. But in terms of other Marvel news here, so coming from again from Daniel RPK, apparently Marvel Studios is reportedly trying to take less risks and focus more on guaranteed hits. So movies like Captain Marvel 3, Ant-Man 4, Eternals 2, they will no longer be happening or no longer in development, because they want to focus on more movies that are guaranteed hits. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, in terms of like Marvel's 3, Ant-Man 4, Eternals 2, like those movies, I'm not honestly like too disappointed that it's not going to be happening, but I don't feel like the issue is in terms of like the movie like Eternals, for example, there was a lot of good premise, a lot of good things you could do with the characters, but the execution was just done so poorly. There were some great sequences in there, like that running sequences towards the third act was pretty good. You had a great cast in there, but like I said, the execution just wasn't done. It just felt like a lot of bloated characters and just stories being underdeveloped. I feel like that was more beneficial for like a 10 episode series rather than like a full-on movie. But that's not the problem for me. The problem, like for example with this, with Marvel 3, with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the writing and just the direction was just such a mess, and that's the problem I feel like is with Marvel. Like if you think about like phase 1, for example, they took the risks with Iron Man, with Captain America, with Thor, and then going on to phase 2 like Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange and Black Panther and all like those characters there in terms of phase 2 and phase 3. Like you had those movies, like they took the risk, but the writing was close to perfect. Like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, absolutely perfect movie. Doctor Strange, a fantastic enjoyable movie. Black Panther, one of the better movies in the MCU. So the problem isn't that the movies themselves aren't hype, but you focus on like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Like they had Ant-Man defeat Kang in the third act. Spoilers alert, by the way, if you haven't seen the movie, but they had Kang be defeated by Ant-Man. You had the Marvels 3 where it's just the plot was so messy, the villain was just so weak. So the writing is the thing that needs to be improved, not the movies being more of a guaranteed hit rather than less risk. That's not the problem. Problem is the writing. The problem is having like scripts, like for example in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, you had scripts being done while they're being filming, like rewrites done. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, like you need to have a clear vision, a clear script, and just focus on that rather than just rewriting it as you're filming the movie. That's the mess I feel like now. Apologies for going on a rant, for going on a tangent. That's my 2 cents when it comes to like the Marvel Studios side of things, say the situation with that. But I want to know your thoughts, please, in the comment section down below. What do you think is the issue with it? Do you think it's because of these movies being more of a risk and not many people wanting to do it? Or is it something else? Let me know in the comment section down below. But For the final news story we're going to be talking about here is, of course, for me, is the big story of the week. It's the situation with Scream 7. Now, if you aren't aware of the whole situation when you've got Spyglass and their shithousery and how they treated Melissa Barrero, finding any excuse to fire her, firing her because she wanted peace and that's what she was conveying in her social medias, and then them firing her, Jenna Ortega leaving the project because of scheduling conflicts, also because of the money situation too, and then of course with the hate that was being thrown around to this franchise, you had the director Christopher Landon leaving his dream project, as he stated, to the project. So everything's just a mess when it comes to Scream 7. Then out of nowhere, Neve Campbell posted this, basically confirming that she is going to be returning to Scream 7. Now there's a couple of interesting things here, because if you look at the picture, it's confirming here, like there's no actual script underneath, so the script still hasn't been written, but it's confirming here that Neve Campbell is going to be returning. Written by Guy Busick, who is the one that wrote Scream 5 and Scream 6. Then director Kevin Williamson, and I'm honestly, like, I've seen a lot of mixed reaction when it comes to this. If you weren't aware, Kevin Williamson is the one that wrote Scream 1, Scream 2 and Scream 4, 3 of the top movies in the Scream franchise, and now going from that to noticing that he's not writing it, he's directing it, and that's very interesting because that's the kind of desperation that Spyglass, I feel like, is going for, because not only is he not writing it, he's directing it. And if you look at his like profile or his like filmography situation, he's only directed one movie, and that is called Teaching Mrs. Tingle from 1999. I personally have never seen the movie, so if you want to go check it out, feel free to go check that movie out, but that's the only movie he's ever directed. So basically not having the original writer come back to write the movie, but come back to direct the movie, and then bring in Neve Campbell. And I've seen a lot of people throw hate at Neve Campbell. I don't know what the situation is. She could have spoken to Melissa Barrera. Melissa Barrera could have given her blessing. But basically with the situation, obviously she never came back for Scream 6 because of the money dispute. And by a desperate move, and I mean desperate move, by Spyglass, they basically went to her and said, please come back to Scream 7. Here's as much money as you want. So she basically just went like this.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
And I'll be the first one to say this right now. Like, I do not blame her for accepting like a huge paycheck. Like, honestly, if I was in that same boat, I would have done the same thing, because like everybody's got like mouths to feed, everybody's got families to feed. So whatever the situation is, she took it because she got tons of money, and who can blame her for that? So I'm not throwing any hate towards Neve Campbell whatsoever. I do think that it's kind of shady by Spyglass for like what they're doing here. Like I said, the only way you're going to get people wanting to go check out Scream 7 is by bringing back Neve Campbell, bringing back the original writer, even though it's in a director's role. But I'm seeing a lot of people wanting to go check out the movie now. People that aren't in like this space or in online social media, all that kind of stuff, probably have no idea. Like the casual viewer is going to see that Neve Campbell is coming back, Sidney Prescott, the original Scream girl, is going to be returning. They're going to go check out the movie. So while that is like a shady move, it's a clever move on Spyglass. That's going to be how they're going to make the money. Obviously, I honestly don't even want to be spending my money to go check it out. If they were going to give it to me for free, I would go, but I'm most likely just going to wait just to see, because my gut feeling is that if they're going to bring Neve Campbell back, if they're going to bring Kevin Williamson back, who knows to say that Stu Marcher is not going to be coming back. They're going to try to do anything to try and bring butts to seats when it comes to the Scream movie. Even when it comes to like the whole Neve Campbell situation, what could you do with the story? Like, that's my main question too, is because you gave her a satisfying ending in Scream 3. You gave her kind of a satisfying ending in Scream 5 too, where she's just going off into the distance with her family, with her kids, that kind of stuff. So what can you really do? What kind of story can you follow? Especially with, I know that Spyglass don't want to have Scream 7 to be the final movie, where you're going to go with this. Now, only time's going to tell, because obviously the writers, like I said, for Scream 5 and 6 are the ones writing this movie, Kevin Williamson directing this movie. We're just going to have to wait and see. But what are your thoughts about the whole situation? I'm really curious to know. Are you going to be checking out this movie with Neve Campbell coming back? Are you still going to be just giving it a complete skip? Please let me know your thoughts all in the comment section down below. But that about wraps it up for the weekly entertainment news video. I thank you all so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening. Again, keep an eye out on the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, because we have tons of videos coming out. The Chicken Nugget series review is going to be coming out as well in the next couple of days, along with, like I said, the Wolverine Lego speed build. We've got the X-Men animated series, all the retrospective reviews for the two big franchises, so keep an eye out. Tons of stuff coming our way. But this is YK Reviews. Peace.